Hello, good afternoon, and what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Audiotree. My name is Jason. Today is Friday, April 25th, and we're coming at you from Chicago, Illinois, as usual. Before we get into today's show, I want to remind you to hit that subscribe button below on our channel. We here at Audiotree do a lot of work to make sure that we bring you the best artists that we possibly can, and you don't want to miss out on any of it. So hit that subscribe button for me if you can. As usual, you can find this session on every streaming platform imaginable, including Spotify and Apple Music, Deezer, all of them. You can find it right now. And now, all the way from Glasgow, Scotland, bringing you an eclectic mix of metalcore with a modern and sensible twist. The Boys and Bleed From Within. Take it away, fellas.
We'll find your sense of clarity.
Hey guys, this has always been something strange for us here at Audiotree. Over 88% of you who watch our videos are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. So could we please ask you a favor? If you like the show and you like discovering new music and you want to support us, the free and simple way to do that is to just hit the subscribe button. And our commitment to you is that if you do that, our team will continue to get the best bands we can, we'll listen to your feedback, we'll book the bands you want to see on the show, and we'll continue spreading the word of live music to the world. Thank you so much. Well, that was awesome, guys. I love the point before the guitar lead. Anytime I see a band live and another member's pointing at another one for the next part, I'm like, let's fucking go. Because you know something sick's right on the horizon there. You know
his back, you know what I mean? It's his moment, it's his time to shine.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Maybe in a studio there now, but I'm vibing.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
I was enjoying seeing you there, there's something quite, this is like weird. Do you know what I mean? You're just standing with your hands on the desk.
It's a weird,
rocking.
setup.
Absolutely. Well, first, I'd like to shout out you guys for bringing me this Iron Brew beverage, which I've never had in my... This is the first time anybody on the show's ever brought me anything, so
I've literally
cheers
just
to
picked
you
up
guys.
mine.
Yeah.
We did that at the same time.
I've never heard of this before, but the people at Iron Brew, if you're not communicating or hanging out with these guys and Bleed From Within, I don't know what's going on. Hit them up, because this... I'll tell you what I think.
It's the greatest drink in the world, and you will say nothing different.
Ooh, it is good. It's really interesting. It reminds me, I'm going to do a little deep cut here, but there's a certain kind of cola that they only sell out on the West Coast called Inca Cola, and I forget the exact flavor, but that's what this kind of reminds me of. It's really good. Anyway, let me take you guys back many moons, many years ago. I was a wee young boy in high school on MySpace. And I was trying to pretty much, you know when you're at that age where you basically just want to discover every band possible? That was me growing up. And I started to do research on all kinds of bands. Any kind of heavy music I could find, I was all about it. So I remember being on MySpace, and I used to do this really weird thing where I would find like a series of album covers that I thought was cool. I would look up the artist, and then I would find the actual band, the actual record. So I remember seeing Colin Marks, that artist was popping off at the time. He did like Whitechapel covers. He did, I want to say he did a Silosis album cover. I know he did some Aborted album covers. Lo and behold, I find this band, Bleed From Within, on MySpace. I think this had to be like 2009, 2010, around then. And I saw the album cover for Humanity, and I was like, well, this has got to be legit. And look at you guys now. You're here in Chicago. You're on tour with Trivium, Bullet for My Valentine, and Silosis, which is insane. That's got to be such a crazy full circle moment for you guys. Maybe. But I think it's cool to see how big the band has become since then.
It's taken us that long to get here.
But
Right
hey,
here.
at least you're here, right? I mean, I remember so many bands from back then that I loved. Speaking of, I remember there's a band called Viatrophy that I was really into.
It was them that had the Colin Marks artwork, not Silosis. I was about to correct you, and then
Shoot. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Yeah, I knew they had one, but I loved that band, and I don't think they made it last much after that. So it's cool to see bands from that environment, bands from that time, like you guys, be able to rise up like that and be on such a big tour. How does it feel like to be on this tour with Trivium and Bullet for My Valentine?
it's good.
Yeah, it's got to be
It's
crazy.
We're a bit old and jaded now.
Yeah.
No, it's really good, and those guys are our really good friends, and it's just a big tour of friends, really, and we're all hanging out every day, going for food, having some beers together.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's so awesome.
It's been good.
That's really cool. Yeah, it's cool to see you guys get on such a huge tour, especially with I know Trivium's doing this Ascendancy anniversary and Bullet for My Valentine's doing the Poison. I remember buying those records when I was 13, 14 years old. Crazy to see.
It's definitely one of those moments where we've had it a lot in the sort of press campaign building up to the new album, people reminding us that we started in 2005, and I'm like, are you going to not bring that up? But then doing this album, this tour with those guys, and it's like each one of them's 20-year anniversary. We're now 20 years as a band, and I'm like, fuck, we're not getting any younger, you know. But it's like you said, it's nice to still be in it and to still be doing it. And again, sort of repeating some of the stuff we said, me and Kennedy have said throughout the press campaign. I think we still very much feel like people are hearing us for the first time on a lot of these tours that we've been doing recently. And I like that. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather people thought we were a new band than think, they're old as fuck. So I think there's something quite nice about that. And I think being out here with these guys and they're revisiting that album and we're at the point that we're at, it's a nice full circle moment. And like Kennedy said, we've been getting on with everyone so well. We've toured with, I think, every band on the bill before, so it's been great.
Yeah, and from my understanding, you guys are very close with Silosis, correct?
I play drums for the band. So.
I was just about to say, not only do you guys share a member, but I know you guys have done a lot together in the past, so that's got to be so much fun being here with them.
Oh, they're not on the tour anymore. They did the first 3 weeks, and then we literally swapped over.
Gotcha.
So,
wow,
yeah.
okay.
The old switcheroo.
The old switcheroo.
Old switcheroo, that's great. Well,
August Burns Red is the next band.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
us, August Burns Red, Trivium's.
The nicest guys in metal.
Wow, okay, cool. Very cool. So tell me, guys, as I've done this research on your guys' band and the touring history, it's so cool to see you guys like touring with bands from the Ghost Inside to Trivium to even doing dates with like a Monomarth and Carcass, which to me I think is really cool because it indicates that your brand of metal is very much able to fit in with all these different types of bands. What do you guys think it is about Bleed From Within that makes it so accessible that we could see you guys on a bill like a Monomarth, or we could see you guys on a bill like with Trivium, for example?
We just don't chain ourselves to a certain genre. I feel like we have moments that work with those old school metal dudes, and we have moments that work with a younger, more sort of hardcore metalcore audience. And I feel like we take all of our influences, and it just all comes together into this melting pot that works with sort of everyone. And we just don't care. We'll tour with anyone, not anyone, but mostly everyone.
Yeah, there's definitely
as long as you're not an asshole.
All right, top 3 bands you'll never tour with. I'm just kidding. Don't tell me that. I don't need to know. Well, anyway, guys, why don't you play some more tunes for me here?
Let's do it. Yeah.
We can't keep dragging us down. We fought tooth and nail to get here. They can't keep dragging us down. We are the ones they fear. They can't keep dragging us down. We fought tooth and nail to get here. Is
Great. Loved it. Very moody, but also very driving. Great shit right there, fellas. So, this year saw the release of a new record, Zenith. Now, this, from my understanding, is the 7th record in your guys' career?
That's right.
Wow, that is crazy.
Is that how many it is? Fucking hell.
Yeah, right? Lots of records. So, I want to ask you guys, with a band that is so prolific and has so much music out, when coming together to create and write an album like Zenith, what is the goal for the band, and what is motivating you guys to write this type of music still?
I think especially for this album, like, we've done so many now, like you said. I mean, 7, again, very depressing. That's a lot of albums. But no, like, on Zenith, we wanted to change it up, and this was kind of like the goal here. We'd used like we had like a formula that we've been using. We were kind of in a safe space almost for 3 albums, same mixer. We had like the same aesthetic and stuff like that, and we kind of removed that, and I think subconsciously it just impacted the creative process. We ended up taking risks that we didn't know we were taking, just kind of outside of that. You know, when you take away the safety net kind of thing, you just go, oh shit, like we went into new territory, like Kennedy trying new stuff with his voice, and then just parts of songs, fucking bagpipes. The Gunsy's been trying to put in a song for about 10 years, by the way. And we kept on saying no, and he was like, can I please just try it on this? And he sent it, and we were like, that's pretty fucking good, man.
Finally
Finally got his way.
He finally got his way. Which, you know, just little things like that. I think Zenith for us was all about change, all about evolution and kind of moving forward. And I think every band's going to fucking say that, aren't they, really? But I think this one's really obvious for us. I think if you just listen to this compared to everything that we've done, and in particular even the last 3 albums that are almost like a trilogy if you think about the sort of sonic and visual aspect. Now, Zenith is just a departure from that. And I think it's a big step up. And yeah, I like the space that we went into when we took all that stuff away. You know, we went into this new space. We kind of experimented. For us, it was experimental anyway.
Absolutely. I think that's really cool. I never really thought about approaching it in a way where you kind of strip down all of these factors that you're so familiar with when coming to create a record, and how that could even have an influence on creating different music. That's awesome. What a cool idea. And if I did my research correctly, I did read that Adam Nolly Getgood produced this record with you guys, correct?
He just engineered the drums on this.
Okay, on this one.
We're self-produced, but vocals were produced by Dan Weller, a
Gotcha.
good friend of ours from the band Sixth. And it was Ermin Hamidovic. I think I've been saying his name wrong for years. Sorry, Ermin, if you watch this. But yeah, Ermin Hamidovic, who has worked with us previously mastering albums, he mixed this and he fucking delivered. So.
Okay, yeah, it does sound huge. That guy has a touch for making those records sound so huge. Another production I like that he's mastered is The Work by Rivers of Nile. Love what he did on that record. Sounds huge. So cool. So that's got to be cool working with him on a mixing level. So that being said, with you guys being self-produced, do you find that ever to be more of a challenge for the band when creating music, or is it almost more of an advantage for you guys?
I just think we want to be like completely ourselves, you know, like I don't like the idea of someone coming in and helping us write, and then when we have to go play them live, we're not like, you know, just from like a lyric point of view, if I'm singing something that means something to me, I'm going to put way more into it when we're playing live, and I feel like when we're playing 100% of our own songs, you just put a bit more into it, I guess.
Absolutely. I love it. I mean, I think it's really impressive to be able to write your own music like that, you know, and be able to stick to your guns more. And it makes sense. You would want to play something more that you've created yourself, you know?
Yeah,
I think
it's also kind of just all that we know, because we've been friends and a band a very long time, you know. Been friends longer than we've been a band. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's just such a comfortable environment as well. You're not afraid to take chances and take risks in front of each other.
I was just going to add to that. I think if anyone saw the arguments and the fights that we get into just amongst ourselves over the riffs, like we hold ourselves to a very, very high standard. The thought of somebody else coming in and saying that they like another riff would just be chaos.
We could probably do a producer just to keep us in the
just keep us on separate things. But the way it is just now, there's 5 of us, so we have like it's a democracy in the BFW camp, and if somebody doesn't like something, it'll be like, right, put it to a vote, and because there's 5. Yep. It usually ends on someone. It's like, right, you need to vote. And they're like, I don't know.
You're the decider.
Whoever's the 5th vote is the decider.
Absolutely. So Zenith also sees quite a few features on this record, which I know you guys have had features in the past, but this time I feel like there's more than usual. I know you guys have not only my buddy West as a solo on your song, but you guys managed to get Brand Daler on a track too, which is so cool. So what is it like for you guys when it comes to coming up with ideas for features and how that whole process goes for the band?
I think Gunsy should talk about the solos.
I like to just find guitarists that are better than me to play solos on our stuff, and then people might think it's me. Nah, I like to find guitarists that are like my favourite guitarists and that I look up to, and we've been very, very lucky that Vogue on the last album agreed to do a solo, and Wes on this album it just blows my mind because that's two of my favourite guitar players in the world. So
They rip so hard.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I thought it was such a cool feature. I love Wes and I love his playing. So it's cool to hear it on a song like that. And Brand Daler, that's such a huge get. That's so cool. Very good shit.
The obvious choice there was like, you wouldn't expect your guest vocalist to also be like the drummer. You know, you always go for like the big front man, but he's just like, his voice is just angelic and beautiful.
So iconic.
We're all massive Mastodon fans, so it was just such a huge honour.
They're the best. They're the best.
That was a kind of funny one as well because Davey had heard that chorus and went, "Oh, that would suit Brand Daler," like 2 years before we
Just
actually
like
did
the
it.
style he would sing it. I was like, that would sound like a Brand Daler kind of chorus, and then we ended up getting him to do it, which is pretty fucking crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Such an idea can start on such a small level like that and to see
Yeah.
it come into fruition. That's awesome.
It happened on a boat over a glass of red wine. Actually, we were doing the Lamb of God Headbangers boat cruise,
Okay.
and Mastodon were also on that. And Bran watched one of our shows, and then we got chatting at the bar and had a glass of red wine. And I was like, "Would you be up for guesting on one of our songs?" He was like, "Hell yeah, dude."
That is so awesome. That's great. You remember what kind of wine you were drinking?
Red.
Just
I
red?
I can't remember.
Gotcha. Cool. I just wanted to know.
I
A little small
probably was like
Kind
5 or
red.
6 deep by that point. So.
The glass
great.
was red, and so were his cheeks.
Nice. Well, all right, fellas. You want to play us the rest of what you got here?
Cool.
Let's do it.
we will see the light.
And there you have it, everybody. Bleed from Within here to prove that bagpipes do indeed go hard. Thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you to the camera and audio crew, and thank you, Bleed from Within, for the amazing performance today. Lastly, we'd like to thank you, our viewers. If you haven't, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and if you feel so inclined, leave a comment and let us know what you think about it. You can check out this session right now on Spotify, Apple Music, and everywhere else streaming music is provided to you. And once again, my name is Jason. Thank you for your time. We'll see you again soon.
All right, so you guys want to do it for real now?